Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Blue Jay Tay TV. I am Blue Jay Tay, and this week's episode is on BGC13, or for those that don't understand, Bad Girls Club season 13. That was the redemption season, and I've watched it before, but rewatching it again on Tubi, that season was insane. Okay, so let's take a deep dive into that and let's get started. Cheers. So, okay. BGC13 brought together a couple of the bad girls who were on previous seasons, including the infamous Jada and Red. Or should I say Red and Jada, because I like Red more. But so they brought all those girls back to basically redeem themselves for all the things they've done in the past, in their past seasons, etc. So who came into the cast immediately was, like I said, Red, Jada, Natalie, Sarah, Rocky, Camila, Julie, Judy, and then who am I missing? Jesus, I just had her name in my head, and I swear to goodness I didn't skipped over her. But regardless, we'll get back to her, whoever it was. But these girls came in and they made that house crazy. So Natalie, first of all, we start off with these first couple episodes where Natalie's coming in and talking about, oh, I'm just going to be so nice. So this is that and the third. But we all know Natalie, girl, we know you. So, and I don't care. Like, I still like Natalie. She is one of my favorite bad girls because she shook that house up. She did it in season 4 and she did it in season 13. And now she's currently running her own show. She's the executive producer, of Baddies. So I think they're currently on Baddies East right now. There is a girl that I do know that I think she auditioned. I don't know if she's on it yet or she just got through the audition or not. I'll figure that out. But the point is that, so regardless of how you feel about Natalie, one thing you cannot take away from her is she is definitely business oriented, and she is clearly one of the smartest reality TV stars. Honestly, and this is really pushing it, I want to say her arc of not necessarily BGC 13, but BGC 4 Natalie was the best Natalie for me. And honestly, she was up there top tier level of like New York when New York came to Flavor of Love 1 and 2. I'm sorry. If that offended anybody, because we all know New York, aka Miss Tiffany Pollard, is the legitimate queen of reality TV. I mean, like, she's literally the head bitch in charge. But that her villain moves in that season made her awesome. I don't care. It made the show. Honestly, the show was boring as hell when she got off. Those last like 3 to 4 episodes. I just rewatched that actually recently too. Sometimes I do that when I skip past episodes. I go rewatch the ones that I don't actually like. And it was okay, but it still gave me that sense of, oh my gosh, this is boring. It was definitely boring. But moving on. So yeah, Natalie's time in the house, like I said, she pretended to be nice, and there was a couple moments where she just kind of like would reveal herself, like, she was on the phone talking about how she's gonna play puppet master and she's gonna have these girls do her dirty work for her. I mean, she was a real life villain. I honestly don't even understand. Oh no, I think he said she hit first and that's why she got sent home. Honestly, excuse me, the good thing about Natalie leaving this season for season 13 was that the show was even more insane once she left. So she took Judy under her quote unquote wing, and she basically, because Judy was like low-key obsessed with her, and it's not a dig towards Judy. I love her, fellow Piscean. I just think that Judy was such a, once she felt like she really wanted to get to know somebody, she wanted people to see that she was this person. She hooked herself onto that person, and then she kind of just allowed that person to take her up under their wing. She kind of did what she did in season 7 with Stassi and Tiara, which those are my girls. I love them. But she kind of did that with Natalie and Sarah. But the difference was, I don't think Sarah was that type of strong person that she needed, like how Stassi and Tiara was. And the reason why I say that is because Sarah came in like, I'm not gonna fight, and she was really trying to just be business oriented. She didn't care about really getting into the drama until she was kind of pretty much fed up, and then at the reunion. But again, she was clearly hella intoxicated. So, but everybody saw through it because she was literally like the day before, 2 days prior to that, talking about how she wants to get Judy out. It was just, we know Natalie, okay? And then apparently she said something personal to Camila. I did hear rumors about it, but I'm not going to confirm any of what those rumors were. But she did say something to her that was personal. And it, she went below the belt with it. And that's where Camila really tried her hardest not to really kick her ass. And, I was actually very proud of her because I know my girl Camila. I was like, she finna go serve her up right. But I'm glad she did it. So... it was crazy how Natalie's arc was. So she basically ended up starting some BS. I think after the Camila's crap that she started, then, she got into it with Rocky just because Rocky wanted to answer the phone for her freaking girlfriend or whatever. It was just a mess. And then they ended up fighting. Red got involved and Red bit her, and clearly she jumped her. So that was the reason that Red ended up leaving the season, which was very sad for me because even though Red did talk about her problem was anger, I don't know. I mean, I've seen them let people stay for way less. So it's just kind of, for way worse, excuse me. So it's just kind of like, I don't understand why they didn't think to let Red stay. I get it. She better. I get her. She swung. But we had girls literally jumping girls. Like the way they did Kaylee in, what was it, the last season of Bad Girls Club? Like she should have been allowed to stay. I'm sorry, that was 16. But she should have been allowed to stay. Like, that's just my personal opinion. Getting rid of Natalie, I guess, whatever, they probably were just honestly fed up with her. Maybe she didn't give them enough screen time like they really wanted. I think they probably wanted more of that season 4 Natalie, and that's probably why they were just like, well, whatever, you swung first, bye. Because it just felt like a little off to me. I was like, okay. Like, especially if you got somebody that's like a superstar, like that people would love to see on TV, that she kind of shakes up the room. But I don't think she really shook it up enough for them. So they're kind of like, all right, whatever. So moving on from Natalie, let me just please God, let me get this out the way. I don't know what was going on with Judy. She definitely seems like she had a lot of serious issues, and she kind of like dropped Danny and Julie very fast because they were all friends, and she definitely dropped them very fast when they came to the house, like, and then she like, because Natalie was fake being her friend, it just, to me, it didn't make any sense that just because they weren't taking her to get her hair and nails done and stuff like that. It's like, Judy, you are a grown ass woman. Okay, your friends don't have to take you out and do those things like you're a child, like you're a teenager and somebody's trying to teach you how to be a lady. You already know how to be that, So I just didn't get it. I could not understand it, and I just don't feel like this season was not for Judy at all. I feel like her on season 7, that was great, but this was not a season for her. I just couldn't understand what the heck was going on with her, And then when she went back to being crazy Judy and the voodoo and all that stuff, and that's when it got to the left, because she started threatening everybody's lives and all that good stuff. And honestly, I understand my life being threatened. I do not take that lightly at all. I love you, Rocky. You are my girl. But you and Jada were acting like complete and utter Karens. Like, y'all were doing crazy stuff in that house. Like, and because Judy is doing all this extracurricular threatening stuff, y'all were like, oh, I don't know what she's going to do. I don't know if anything's going to happen to me. Like, Judy is far from that type of psychotic. She might talk a lot of shit, and I think she does that just to scare the shit out of people, and because she's a really bad drunk. But I just feel like the way they made it seem, it was definitely given it was definitely given that Karen in the park, going, oh my gosh, no, he's trying to strangle me while the dude is like 50 yards away. Like, that was the vibe it was given. Like, it just didn't make any sense. I get them removing her from the house because she said that. That is understandable. But I feel like if they didn't react like that, then everything would have been okay. That's just my personal opinion. So that's how I feel about that. And I just had to get that off my chest because that really annoyed me. It really, really did. I hated that Jada and Rocky were bullies. It just seemed like sometimes, like when things weren't going on, they would just make a big deal out of everything. Especially Jada. Because you know what? she, especially coming from her season, she just came from that season. She came from season 12, so you're on season 13. For you to come out like that and just be as aggressive and loud and boisterous as she was, I could not understand it. It just drove me up the wall. Those first at least 6 episodes, she drove me fucking and just mad. She drove me in fucking insane. I could not take her attitude. And I used to like Jada up until I started rewatching shit on her. And then that's when I realized she fucking annoys me. Seriously. She really annoys me. And she's always talking about all the stuff she's been through. And you would think for somebody that's been homeless and who has had their parent be on drugs and things like that. And let me just issue a disclaimer. That's not a diss to her. Okay, I've gotten clean from drugs and had to take a long hiatus from alcohol. I know what addiction's like. So let me just issue that disclaimer, especially because what I want to talk about later. But I definitely felt like you coming from this life, you are nowhere near humble. You act like you're a spoiled rich kid. That's what she acts like. And she pisses me off, seriously. Like, the way they just kept going and going, even when stuff was calm in the house, it just pissed me off. And honestly, it pissed me off with Rocky too, because Rocky came from her season, which was season 10, and you dealt with the bullying from the girls. I mean, you was out there kicking ass and taking names later, you know what I'm saying? But you were literally getting bullied by these females. I can't understand why she was so hell-bent on being like that. It just almost, you know, when they were trying to say how they felt about her being with Shannon, even though I love Shannon, that's my girl. But I feel like that's what she was like with Jada. I feel like had she had clicked up with Camila, she would have had a better time during this season. Because I feel like I don't know, you know how when you are around somebody so much, you share their energy after a while. I'm not saying she's being fake. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's why I like being around certain people, because I don't want to share your fucking energy. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to talk to you. None of that fuck shit. I just don't. So that's why I just feel like she should have been around Camila and Danny and all that stuff, and even Sarah. Like, and all the rest of them hoes could have been beefing with each other, because it didn't do her any fucking justice. So, but yeah, all in all, it irritated me, and I preferred her attitude better when she was at the reunion. I really did. Now, obviously, when Natalie was there at the beginning, I get that. It was just chaos and mayhem. But again, when she clicked up as tight as she did with Jada, I mean, she did click up with Julie too. I'm not saying that, but Julie really didn't have any of those moments, so she doesn't count in what I'm talking about. But she definitely, to me, ruined her character with this season. So honestly, that's really the most I could say about Rocky. She didn't have like a lot of can't even talk right. She didn't have a lot of like really in-depth storylines. I mean, she did come out to her real father, you know, she let him know she was a lesbian, like she was gay, whatever, and that was beautiful, because I know she's been wanting to do that. So I will give her flowers for that, because that was awesome. And in the beginning, when she tried to let Judy know like that she loves her, she cares about her, and she really tried to like help her, and Judy, you know, was being Judy, doing the most. But she really, I'll give her flowers for that too. Other than that, she didn't really have that much going on in the season, so there's that. I did like that fact that her and Camila made up at the reunion. That made me happy. Now, Danny, I'm going to talk about her briefly, because this last opinion I have is going to be kind of a long one. Danny, I felt like she had a really good arc here. I feel like between her and Julie, their friendship crumbling, I felt like beforehand, I just kind of was like, because she like irritated me a little bit. But rewatching, I'm like, dude, I completely understand where Danny's coming from, because she's loved her beyond any measure. She already has trust issues, and then Judy is telling her that, oh, well, she doesn't really like y'all, you know, talking about her and her twin sister Gabby. And granted, Judy, this is the wrong time to bring it up. You should have been brought this shit up beforehand, but regardless, it's being said. And so now she's having to question that. And then I did like really hate the fact that when she went outside to talk to her after she had her first really bad meeting with Laura, the life coach, and she was like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I just don't talk about it. I don't want to talk. It just irritated me because I'm like, that's your friend. And then when Rocky came out there, she just spilled all her beans. And then Danny still came out there again trying to just talk to her friend, and she just kind of like blew her off. So she was understandably angry. I would have been angry too, because like, what is your issue, dude? Like, I didn't do anything to you. Like, I'm just trying to be here and be your friend. And she just kept blowing her off for her. And she even tried talking to her again. And it's just like, Danny really she got shitted on so hard by Julie. And I was so happy to see Julie being a different person. And then it was like, oh, here we go. Here we fucking go. So it was very annoying. And then she had the audacity to not come to the fucking reunion. Julie, I mean. And this dumbass, long-ass, bullshit-ass recording. And she just irritated me. So, yeah. But, Danny, she grew. She tried her hardest not to be, a bitch. I mean, and then I think she found a great friend in Camila. I really did enjoy their friendship. It just seemed like they were just really close and like little sister, big sister. Like they just really gave off that great, pure friendship vibe. Some people, when you see them as friends and you're like, they don't match each other. But them two definitely matched. I feel like they definitely matched each other's energy. They were both tired of watching this bullshit go on between Judy and Sarah and Rocky and Jada. They were both over it. So it was just like, it made a lot more sense why they kind of clicked a little bit, because they both were just over it. And I get being over. When you're over something, you're just over it. So that's how I feel about Danny's character. I do like what she said at the reunion when she was like, oh, I'm a bitch and I'm rude. And well, not rude, but she was like, I'm a bitch. And then she was just like, I'm self-absorbed and all stuff. Like, there's nothing I love more than a self-aware person. Okay? If that's who you are, own that shit, wear it like a badge of honor. Like, I'll tell people, if you a hoe, wear it like a badge of honor. Yeah, I am. I'm friendly with my vagina, and so what? Like, just, who cares? So, I do respect that. I mean, and don't get me wrong, do I think I will give Jada some understanding? You can't talk all this shit to me, but you don't fight. Then shut the fuck up. That's it. Simple. And then when I hit you, you want to feel some type of way. Now, put a pin in that. I'm going to go back to that later. But I will say, she still has the right to say whatever she feels, because she's an adult with an opinion. So, again, we'll get back to that later. I know Rima did eventually come because she replaced Red, but it wasn't important. So, sorry, Rima. Sorry, girl. You was looking hot, and I would love seeing you and your son not reunite like they was far apart, but you know what I mean. Her son, when they had family, it was all nice. It was cute, but girl, it was whatever. And the fact that she ran up on Judy at the reunion, Rima, I ain't respect that. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's not because she ran up. It's not because she didn't let her know she was running up. It's the simple fact that it's Judy. Like, unless she says something about your son, don't run up on her, girl. So it was giving, I just want to be relevant. Like, no shade. That's what it was giving. So, moving on. Oh, I'm petty. Okay. When I first saw this BGC13, I was really like, Camila is the bully. Like, why is she so bully? Why is she bullying Jada? Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? Camila, I love you, girl. That's just what I thought in the beginning. However, rewatching this, because especially because I'm a little older now, and you forget about certain shit when you're not watching a show constantly. She was not a bully. She was fed the fuck up. And I understand it. You watching people fight all day, every day. You watching, especially Jada, oh, you did something, you better own up to it. Like, you watching somebody do something all day, every day. It is tiring. It's tiring. So, excuse me. Camila wasn't even talking to Jada. And I woke up happy. I wasn't mad. See, she thought she was gonna be able to do what she was doing with Sarah and freaking Judy. She had the right fucking one. If your match was a fucking person, okay? That's not Camila. I've been loving her since season 8. Honestly, God rest Mimi's soul, because she is gone now. But she was really she made the whole fucking season. I'm gonna keep it all the way official with you. No, I did like Jenna. That was my homegirl. And I did like Amy, because her drunk ass. She used to crack me up. But yeah, she made the whole fucking season. I don't give a shit about season 8. The most memorable thing I can tell you about it is I like Camila. That's it. Like, literally. Like, the rest of it didn't fucking matter. Okay? Honestly. So, and if she should have been, if she ever watched any season, what she should have been, she should know Camila's with the bullshit 24/7. Okay? So, I don't know why she tried her, but she met her maker. And at the reunion, she was screaming, "I'm not scared of you." I do think she was scared of her, slightly. Because there was a lot of times where things happened between them and she kind of bucked, but it wasn't like, nuck if you buck. You know what I mean? Like, girl, she was scared. And then with the whole thing, what she said about, like, her mom. Listen, she called her mom. She said, "Go fix your mama's crackhead ass." Okay? These are Camila's words, not mine. Don't come from me. Now, Jada was bucking the whole damn season. Not with Camila, but with the whole season. But she didn't do any of that shit when Camila said that about her mom. That would have been the moment I went the fuck home. Right then and there. If there was any time for you to be as bucking as you was, that was the fucking moment. She should have reached her little ass over that seat and wailed on her like there was no tomorrow. And if she wasn't, soon as they got to the house, she should have like, "What's good?" and just swung on her. But I probably would have swung on her right then and there, especially because we right here, you ain't got nowhere to go, baby. I'm about to corner you in this fucking van and fuck you up. Why I didn't understand why she didn't do that. So I don't care what she's talking about. To me, she was scared. And there was a lot of time, even when Camila was running around, because she ended up throwing her camera over and breaking it. She's running around asking them about her camera, and she's acting like way too scary. I'd have been like, if you're not going to admit it because you want to be petty, even though you clearly said that people should be admitting stuff, but okay. You should have, right then and there, okay? Right then and fucking there, said, "And if I did, what's up?" Like, that's what I'm saying. She didn't buck enough for me. So I believe she was scared. You know, she made her match. You know what I mean? And then that battle was epic. I don't care. That was insane. So towards the end, I don't remember. I still have like 3 more episodes left, but I can't remember. Jada ended up going home, I believe, for whatever the hell she did. But the point is, Camila, she lost a friend. She called Jada to apologize to her about the comments and all that stuff. I agree with Camila when she said at the reunion. At that point was your chance to tell me the truth. You did not tell me the truth. And now, don't get me wrong. At first, I was like, Camila, let her explain. She's trying to explain to you what happened at the reunion. But she was so fed up at that point, it didn't matter for her. So I get that. And then, again, she swung on Danny. She had opportunity prior to that to swing on Camila because Camila was bucking at her in her face, and she didn't. And when Tanisha called her out, I was like, I'm not even mad at her for that because you should have, and she didn't. And then she had to buck about Tanisha. That's why Tanisha was like, hold up. Like, you know, I get it. You could be a host and all that stuff, but there's a line that you just need to not cross, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get where she was coming from. Oh, and let me just say this. Oh, my fucking goodness. That's another reason, like, you can get on my goddamn nerves. She gonna say, when Tanisha was apologizing to everybody, she was like, yeah, she's like, I'm gonna sit down. You a big girl. And I'm like, Tanisha should have slapped her for that one. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, because seriously, like, stop. And she wasn't even that big, and she damn sure wasn't that big then. So we're not gonna do that. Like, that's just, I can't. But anyway, so yeah. So, and by the time she actually bucked at Camila at the reunion, that's why she said, you look so stupid. That's why she said that, because that's exactly what she looked like. like a dumbass because you had ample enough time to run up on her. You had time. You literally had time. Like, so I felt like she was just a bully who eventually got exactly what she was dishing. It was just wrong time, wrong bitch. Like, you know what I mean? So, or should I say wrong time, right bitch, because she had the right one. So, but I mean, that's just how I feel about it. I mean, all in all, like a lot of these girls, you know, I feel like people kind of showed different weird true colors this season, you know, and I think that's why a lot of people were kind of like, no, absolutely not. So it made a lot of sense why, you know, especially how the way sometimes TV presents it to you. They, especially back in the day, they kind of make things seem like one way and it's really not that. But, you know, you can see now, especially if you ever rewatch different seasons of the Bear Girls Club, you see now, like, yeah, some of these girls that people didn't like, you're like, no, she had a reason. She had a reason. And I feel like I said, in my mind, Camila had a reason. She really did. And I couldn't understand what Jada's problem was and why she thought she was like the baddest. I don't want to say the baddest bitch. I'll say she just thought she was that girl, like she was the Bad Girls Club. And it's probably because a lot of what I've heard, these are rumors, a lot of the producers really liked her, and that's all fine and dandy, but see, that's the problem. Like, don't let them pump you up to get your ass shot out here, Day. Okay, for real. Because that's the thing. Like, you might be a favorite of the producers and all that stuff like that, but you gotta remember, like, there's always gonna be somebody that's bulkier than you, prettier than you, stronger than you, smarter than you, etc. Like, so you gotta know that and own that. And she did not do it, and she paid for it heavily. Whew. See, I feel like I need a shot after that. But so with that being said, that's my opinion. How would I rate this season on a scale of 1 to 10? I'll say it's about a good like 7. 6.5, 7. It's not really crazy like how some of the scenes are where you saw girls get their heads knocked off for real. But I'll say it was entertaining still. It had some really cute moments, some really bonding moments. And there were some friendships that developed that I did enjoy. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great evening. Stay awesome. Be friendly. Don't drink too much. And don't drink and drive. Cheers.